there. Thanks for tuning in. I'm excited you're here. I've got an energy update, whether you're watching live or the replay. It doesn't really matter. The first part of this is going to be all about the new moon. Then we'll get into the Zodiac scopes, but we are live, so I'll be doing some readings for those people that tune in. If you're watching on Instagram, the replay, I suggest you click the link above so you could watch the full version over there on YouTube, and subscribe there if you like. Welcome. Hey there. We are going to be talking about the new moon in Aries. Yes, the new moon was yesterday, but we work with the new moon energy like we would being pregnant, gestation. So it doesn't matter that I'm just now getting to this. I wrote these messages down earlier in the week. Hey, everyone joining. So we're going to talk about the Aries new moon and then do zodiac scopes for the signs. I'm not doing like channeled messages for the signs. We're going to talk about Aries. We're going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about all kinds of things that you need to act on now by the light of day. Hey everyone. So this live will hopefully be saved and I will put it on YouTube, and the first 10 minutes, depending on how much we get through, will be on Instagram. So like I always say, go on over to YouTube now if you're watching the replay. But if you're live, I'm excited you're here. I'm feeling the vertigo bad, but the rain stopped, so my pain kind of lessened. But when it was kind of cold and rainy for the last 48 hours, my pain was way worse. But there is also the detox side effects that I should be experiencing, which I believe I am. Like, I'm even breaking out on my chest, my urine, odor. I'm just, yeah, it is what it is. Welcome to the show, everybody. Just kidding. No, but we'll leave that detox conversation for another day. I will be doing a live probably next week all about the products that I have, like updating that. There's one already on my IGTV, but we're going to get started. It is what it is. So if you're watching live, there'll be a chance at the end for me to do some readings, hopefully. Okay. So I always start it by people that have birthdays this week, today, this month, all my Aries babies, and then we'll get into other fun ways to see who gets a reading. So stay tuned for that. So Aries is where we're at. Aries is where the sun is at. Aries is where the moon is at. So there's a lot being illuminated here, both externally and internally. So within us, with the moon phases, we're going to be planting some seeds of intention centered around courage, confidence, determination, enthusiasm, optimism, passion, and brutal honesty. Being honest with yourself. Can you handle the truth? What is the truth of the matter? I don't know. It's different for everybody. It could be a mental, physical, emotional, personal issue. I mean, it's going to be different for everybody. Now, what will be something we want to fix during this season of bravery, I will call it? Lack of patience. We need to be braver and bolder when it comes to our hopes, dreams, wants, needs, people, places, and things. And by brave, I mean patience. Patience is very basically faith in action, trust in action, believing and trusting and receiving, not having a tantrum when it isn't being delivered when you want it. Aries is all about I want what I want when I want it. And that does not always work. Okay? So, and sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. We know that. Spirit is not trying to set you back, but you need to be in alignment with whatever it is you need or want to receive. So it's not always you know what's best. No. Trusting your intuition and things like that. Yeah, you're trusting who you are and what you are. Yeah, you know that. And that's what the first house is all about. That's what Aries rules. And it's time to act on your hopes, your dreams, your wants, your needs. Okay? So the new moon in Aries is all about lighting your own fire, going after your own desires, putting other people, places, and things out of the picture. You know, you got to get in alignment with what it is you want, because for too long you have not been going after it and your fire is fizzling out. All it takes is a little bit of rubbing those hands together and it'll become more and more and more, and getting the kindling and getting the wood and getting ready to be ready to be ready. Okay. So if what you want isn't here yet, maybe you're not ready for it. Okay. So important though, you need to find a way to lead yourself out of the darkness or walk through the fire. Doesn't that Tony Romo guy do that fire walk? I don't really like him, I'll be honest. So maybe we'll lose a bunch of people right there. I don't like gurus. I don't like people fawning over other people. And he's one of those people I just can't stand. Anyways, it's time to rise and shine. It's all about action. Aries is related to fire, the sun, Mars, the god of war. It's time you fight for your right. Like, can we just listen to the Beastie Boys for a minute, right? Not just to party, but to live and thrive abundantly. So it's like everybody is entitled to their own party. Everybody is entitled to their own bonfire. Everybody is entitled to their own fuel. Everybody is entitled to their own fucking fireworks show and the whole shebang, okay? So I know some of you are here just to talk about sex, and we're definitely going to do that, the good, the bad, the ugly, when we talk about the Zodiac scope. So that's definitely coming up. Mars is all about that passion and fire between two souls, but it's not just sex. It's platonic. It's family, it's friends, it's business. It's about how we act in our relationships. It's about the magnetism as well, and what we're calling on with our energy, what we're putting out there, and what we are receiving. Okay, I love it. It's like a little family reunion in here, you guys. Okay. So between two people, places, and things, not just souls, because in the Chinese or the Japanese believe that after an object is here long enough, it takes on a soul. So it's between you, others, and things as well. So Mars can be found in Gemini though. So there's going to be a new layer of love here in your relationships, or a new layer of intimacy in your relationships, sexual or not, centered around open communication, talking about the past, airing it out, talking about the future and where you want to go with your family, friends, and lovers. Notice how I say family, friends, then lovers. It's got to go that way. If you cannot formulate healthy relationships with family, it could be a soul family. It does not have to be your family. If you can't formulate healthy or boundaries or, healthy relationships, all that encompasses with your family, it's going to be that much harder with your friends and your partner. So, and partners, by that I mean lovers or business or any other kind of association. So it's time you speak up and out about the relationship, how you two are getting along or not, all of it. All of the dialogue will be available. The words will come to you, the downloads, the messages, all of that will be available to you now, because that's where Mars is in Gemini, which is all about Mercury, communication. The don't shoot the messenger though, but you're here to deliver it. And that's why I was saying brutal honesty with yourself and your friends and your family and your lovers. Okay. So intelligence will also be a major turn on in your relationships. The conversations will be more stimulating, and that's where we get more intimate with our family, friends, and lovers. I was thinking about it for the last few days, like, my family did not talk. We sat around the dinner table, but we glossed over a lot of things. There was a lot of addiction and issues in our family that none of us still have ever talked about. So you have to be willing to have those conversations, those deeper conversations with your family, friends, and lovers, and revisit those conversations that you have not. We're done with the Mercury retrograde. So it's a good time to kind of formulate the words, ideas, and thoughts that you want to put out there. Okay. So that is the Aries new moon. Now we're going to go deeper into the signs. I do want to say, if you want to connect with this energy on like a elemental essential oil, aromatherapy, food, whatever level, ginger, rosemary, cedar, cinnamon, and clove. Every day I have been drinking the detox tea. And that is with the cinnamon, clove, ginger, and a bunch of other things. But those are some essential oils you could also work with. Aries is all about channeling the energy properly through sex, exercise, diet, like healthy ways. Otherwise, it spirals out of control, and think about it like you don't have the right fuel for the fire. If you're burning the wrong things, it's gonna end up pretty bad for you. Okay. And I have been doing that. So it's been pretty bad for me. Another, a bunch of things you want to work on: originality, leadership, finding the people, places, and things, getting the resources together. Aries are great workers. They are great at getting people, like a team player, and then they're competitive. So that kind of boosts the energy and the morale. I know when I was catering and cooking and doing things like that, if I had someone working alongside of me that was fast, the tempo was up. And then I'd have older guys saying to me, because I worked with a lot of old bakers and stuff, slow the fuck down because I have to keep up with you. And I was like this 17-year-old, like pumping it out. And I was also like a cokehead. So, well, no, that was mostly in my 20s. But anyways, here we are back to it. That's what I'm talking about. Then I found healthy outlets for my energy. I have an Aries moon. So this is affecting me. And it's very full circle. I want to say like 8 cycles ago. So 8 years ago, where were you mentally, physically, and emotionally? These cycles are ending, and now we're getting into the 9th house, especially with the Aries of Sagittarius, which is another fire sign. And that will be moving in Jupiter, I want to say. So blasting off mentally, physically, and emotionally, cleansing and clearing cycles. I don't want to say Jupiter. What do I want to say? I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Well, hot damn, where are my notes? Well, regardless, we'll be talking about the retrogrades soon. That's a whole nother video. As you can tell, I'm like 3 days behind on everything because of my neck injury. So anyways, slow down, find that patience with yourself and others. Okay, let's get to the signs. Let's start talking about the signs. I guess, obviously, we'll start with Aries. Where are my notes? Okay, Aries, you are a brave and fearless lover. Not just a lover, but a family member, friend. You will go into a building that is on fire to help rescue family, friends, and lovers that are stuck in said building. But when it comes to the everyday, day-to-day bullshit, you're very selfish, childish, and me. But that is okay. All of my fire signs are, and I absolutely love you for it. You bring the fire, you bring the passion, you bring the party, you bring it, and that's what we need you to do. So if you're an Aries or a spring sign, raise your hand pretty soon because we'll be doing your readings first, okay? So with a strong libido or a healthy appetite for life, it's not just about sex, it's about action. You chase after your mates or your hopes, dreams, wants, needs, and you're in for the kill. But you don't like things to come easy. And so there's that duality. You're impatient, but you also like a chase. So there's the contrast within you that you need to sort out, okay? You do get bored after a while with family, friends, and lovers. You are a risk taker, playful, and a bit detached emotionally from your partners. So this is where that intimacy needs to come into play. And with Gemini and Mars, it probably will. You'll have deeper conversations. I know I shy away from that. And my partner and I have been having much better conversations and sex as well. Just saying. Just putting it out there. You're going to prefer passion over the romance and the mushy-gushy stuff. You want the lust. You want the intensity there. And you're going to struggle with monogamy. So I'm not saying that Aries are cheaters. I'm just saying that they like variety. They like it nice and spicy, okay? So you like a challenge and you will put up a fight, and you like to move quickly. And that's if things aren't going your way. That's where the childish sort of tendencies could come in. Letting go easily of people, places, and things. Where else was I? And as I said, if there was a fire and everybody was running out, you'd be running back in to make sure everybody else came out. You are that brave, bold, fearless sort of family, friend, and lover, for sure. And that's also the balance and harmony there with the other parts of your attributes. So let's get into Taurus. Taurus, you guys are conventional, traditional, straightforward. You do like monogamy. You are very traditional in the defined roles in a way. I'm not saying that it's male or female, but you like roles in a relationship. You like ease. You less is more, not when it comes to luxury, food, and good times, but less drama, less bullshit, less theatrics. You ain't into it, okay? And the less resistance, the better. So it's not that you're into easy people. You just aren't willing to fight for love. You don't think that love should be that hard to attain. You work best with the natural elements. So people that are earthy and traditional and sort of like you, but obviously different. Not that opposites attract. I don't always agree with that, but you need somebody that's willing to go on the adventure with you too. So you need some spice in your life as well. Okay. You like comfortable though, stable people. You don't want crazy cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs people. No, 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 no. You're real. You're just real and down to earth. And I like that. Okay. And you like intimacy and romance, touch, wine, dine, all of the candlelight, mood lighting, all of it. Okay. You're real sensual like that. It's almost like Aries has matured, and that's just what the signs do. So then it steps into Taurus, and it's like, oh, I get it. I can be a lover and not just a flighty sort of person. Okay. You crave intimacy, foreplay. It's a must. And basically, love needs to be easy, as I said. You don't want this to be a burden in your life, okay? You've got enough because you're a worker, that's for sure. You want someone to savor, though, the good times with, because you work hard and you play hard. You're passionate, yet always have one foot on the ground. Super duper grounded. Loving that about my Taurus. They are actually my best friends as like a Cancer and Aries and Pisces and Gemini. They keep me super centered and grounded. I just love my Taurus. And I have Taurus in the second house. So I fucking love the food. I love it all. Okay? All of it. And you're confident and honest. You're brave and bold, just like Aries as well. But you're brave and bold for your partners, whereas Aries is brave and bold for themselves for the most part. That's just where I'm telling you how the signs mature. But you need to be more flexible because you can be jealous. You could be egotistical. You could be, if you're a man, you could be, what is that word? Macho. And the defined roles could be like super traditional, and women today aren't having it. I mean, I grew up thinking I wanted a very defined role, but now I'm realizing, oh, I don't like doing the dishes and cooking and cleaning. I don't want fucking kids. So there are no defined roles, and that some Tauruses need to yield to and understand. Okay. So that takes us to Gemini. They are pretty restless when it comes to their family, friends, and lovers, but they are super duper charming. So they're like thing one and thing two. They're either tucked away in a box in the game room, and they're like, go get that box out, and then it's like a party. Okay. So Geminis are their own party. They don't really need all of the sex and romance and love. They are okay with one night stands. They are okay with masturbation. Well, I'm a Gemini sun and rising in my Vedic chart, but Geminis just think about it. Like the duality is there, the contrast is there. They don't really need a partner a lot of times. And so partners find that challenging. Okay. So you're creative though. If you are a Gemini, you're a creative lover. You use your imagination. So that's the other thing. You could have fucking imaginary friends. As a Gemini sun and rising, it's like all of you are my imaginary friends. And I don't really have a life outside of this for the most part. Luckily, I have some friends that I met from here that live locally, and across the globe and everything. But Geminis are really a complete package, whereas it's not the complete package for someone else. Hardly ever, unless somebody likes that contrast and duality and the mixed bag that a Gemini is. Okay. My Pisces boyfriend likes it. Aries can handle it. Taurus can handle it. Not everybody can handle it. That's for sure. And think about those three signs: Pisces, Aries, Taurus. They're all in sequence there. So anyways, Gemini, they need mental stimulation. So this is the sun and the moon and the stars for you. This full moon, you're getting all the stimulation that you need and desire. Oh, hold on. Here's another Gemini thing. Multitasking like a stupid son of a bitch. I am making roasted garlic. Let me go shut the oven off. Hold on. So that's the other thing. Geminis can't sit still. They're not into movies unless there's a plot and twists and things to it. So Mo can't stand that I can't sit still on the couch with him. They're very difficult lovers, I would say. Just speaking from experience, you know. Sex is, sex is sex. Like I said, they're okay with a one night stand. They don't, Mo has just now realized 3 years later, he has to really initiate it, unfortunately, because it does not even ping in my brain. I'm almost asexual that way. It does not register like, oh, I mean, maybe once in a blue moon I'm horny, but very seldom. And it's usually around my cycle. Okay, this turned into the Ash. Hour. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Anyways, mentally stimulating relationships, conversation. Like I said, this is the moon for you. Geminis are going a million miles a minute, so they need someone that can keep up with them, and they don't like dull, boring people, but they do bring the party, I would say, for sure. And they want someone that's ready to go on an adventure as well. They're definitely down for doing new things, innovative things. They are always into finding a new way to do this, that, or the other. So that's something that other people have to keep up with, because there is a very little routine or consistency with Geminis as well. Okay, so that takes us to Cancer. They're the nurturing, wounded lover. Okay, so they're either momming you to death, like loving you, smothering you, coddling you. Okay, Cancers, I know, I'm a sun and rising in Western. So they really put out the fire in a relationship with their emotions sometimes. Or they're the wounded lover, where they're like, woe is me, burdened, always hurt, and too sensitive in that way. And then they are the, manipulative, I want to say, lover. Okay, so Cancers, you need to check yourself. They are very quiet in their relationship. They are hard to open up. Think about it. They're a hard shell to crack, but they're really tender on the inside. They need to speak up, though, about their needs and wants, because people are not mind readers. People don't read energy like Cancers do, and they just sort of expect them to, and that's not healthy in relationships, because people, as I said, they can't magically, oh, here's my boyfriend calling. Let me answer it real quick. Hold on. Okay, so I just told him I was live. Anyways, Cancers, when they're young, could have issues with relationships. If it goes south, they could be very, very, very clingy and harbor sadness and spiral out of control, even if they don't have people talking them through it, working them through it, feeling like the victim there. If a relationship doesn't go the way they want it to, that's where the manipulation and the tears will come in, and that just doesn't work. They have to realize that their smothering isn't healthy, and that they are loving others in an effort to be loved, and love is free. You have to give without the idea of receiving. We give to give, not to receive. Okay, reciprocity is nice, but Cancers are almost in a way missing the boat there. It's selfish, their love. Sometimes they give because they want to be loved by this person, place, or thing, and they just need to love themselves, which would be the best thing to do. Okay, they take loss deeply, mental, physical, and emotionally, fucking spiral out of control. This could be any kind of loss, though, family, friends, or lovers. Okay, but it's necessary they release their emotions in healthy ways. So this Aries energy is definitely going to find ways for you to release your energies through sex, diet, exercise, sweating, all kinds of things like that will help you, and to find a way to lead yourself out of your sadness and the darkness there. Okay, so that takes us to Leo. Leos are loud and proud lovers. By that, I mean they love the honeymoon phase. They love the beginning, whining and dining, showing off, being seen, putting it in other people's faces, especially like their ex's face. They are all, look at J-Lo, okay? I can almost always relate it to her. Isn't she a Leo? I think she is a Leo. But, she just loves putting her love out there. And I want to tell you, love is sacred. And one thing that people don't realize about a Leo is that they are pretty emotionally sensitive. hello, Cancer, then Leo, that tenderness is there, but they hide it behind being loud and proud. So you have to work on this new moon being more intimate in healthy ways and not stealing the show, letting your relationships bloom and blossom and it not be all about you, okay? People are almost an extension of you. You take them on like a fucking Gucci bag. Like, this is an accessory. I invested in this person, place, or thing. So you want them to look nice. You want to keep it nice and tight and right for them. So when it comes to like being a lover, you're very good at providing for your family, friends, and lovers. But that's also where you get a bit demanding and expect the adulation, the look at me, the look at what I do for you. And that's ego, okay? So settle down with that. You are pretty traditional though. So it's not like you want new love all the time. No. But you can tell when someone's falling out of love with you and you're going to have another person lined up. That's for fucking sure. Think about a lion in the jungle. He's got a few chickadees he's working with. Okay. Just saying. Anyways, and if your partner tries to steal the show, they've got to go. You're like, no, this is a one-person show. You are a character in my play or monologue. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but you want someone that'll kind of yield to you. So I would say, who's good for my Leos? Oh, I'll have to do a whole nother video on that because I don't want to take forever with this. I do want it to load when we save it. Now we get to Virgo, which is one of my favorites because a lot of people don't expect this about a Virgo. First of all, they're goddamn gorgeous, like naturally gorgeous. People look at you and want to fall down. And that's another thing. You're almost intimidating because you're so beautiful, you Virgos. But you are a closet sexpert. You like it freaky, but you like a fixer-upper. So you want someone, I'm not going to say beneath you, but you want someone that doesn't, like Leo, steal the show from you and your natural abilities and good looks and things like that, okay? And that's with family, friends, and lovers. Unexpectedly, Virgos definitely enjoy sex, and they're not very fussy when it comes to sex, whereas they're very cleanly in all the other areas of their life. They're pretty raunchy when it comes to sex. And they like the fixer-upper because they are insecure, which thank God for that. Spirit was smart, because if you were that beautiful and that secure, we all would not stand a chance, you fucking Virgos. So your insecurities level the playing field in a way. But anyways, you are a forever lover. My Virgos are the ones that are beautiful in high school. They almost don't go through puberty, I want to say. Like, they don't have that awkward stage, and it really pisses me the fuck off. But you'll marry your high school sweetheart. Like, and your friends are from high school, from decades ago. Like, you are a forever friend and lover, okay? So no drama either. So you would actually probably work well with Taurus maybe. But anyways, you avoided falling in love in high school if you did go through that awkward stage. There is always that bounce and harmony. Some of you find out you're beautiful later in life once you take the glasses off. Almost like that Princess Bride movie or whatever, where the girl is like really beautiful beneath it all. With all that work, we could all be that beautiful, okay? This takes about a half hour in the bathroom. Just kidding. I have like no Virgo on my chart, so I'm like 0 naturally pretty. It's on the negative scale, okay? Where else are we? Oh yeah, and you're like, make others want to puke perfect, your relationship sometimes, like when they hear your love story and things like that, and it's like, oh, I just don't want to hear about it anymore, okay? But dairy, not only that, you're a Leo. Look at your hair. You're a Leo in Vedic astrology, girl. So you're the matriarch of your family. You know, it's different for everybody. Don't even get me started. Anyways, the other thing about Virgos, they want to be in control of the schedule, in control of their partner. Talk about controlling. They have some issues there, okay? Yeah, but Liana, this took a little work, blush and stuff. That takes us to Libra. They think that they are the perfect Virgos. They are spoiled in a way by their lovers, or kind of want to be spoiled by their lovers, and they can't say no to spoiling other people, places, and things, or, say no to their family, friends, and lovers. And that's something they have to work on and fix, Libra, okay? They are picky about their partners. They want equality, but they'll almost put up with bullshit because they think that this person is the yin to their yang, or this is my soulmate, I have to deal with his bullshit. No. None of us sign up to come here to deal with someone else's bullshit. Unless you're working with bulls and cleaning up shit. No. No, no, and no. Not having it. Oh, Denise, telling us the truth. I love it. Okay. So they will step in bullshit over and over again, Libras, before they finally move on. They can actually even move on while still attached. Like they'll have someone on the someone on the bench, rather, like we have that stage in our lives and our relationships when we were dating and stuff, like back up. We had someone we were still talking to casually, maybe not everybody, but some of us. So Libras, you perhaps did. And this is where like emotional and sexual cheating could happen. And think about Aries, like I said, they have trouble with monogamy. So you need to create balance and harmony in yourself first, and then in your relationships with family, friends, and lovers, people, places, and things. They almost have like an A squad and a B squad as far as friends go. So keep that in check, Libra. That's not cool. Okay. What else? They hold on to anger in their unions, which is unhealthy. And as I'm saying, with the Aries new moon, we need to find healthy ways to release our energy mentally, physically, and emotionally through sex, exercise, diet, detoxing, creating healthy boundaries, walking away from people, places, and things. Stop burning the bridges, if you know what I mean. Okay. And stop speaking up and out in the moment. If you're mad, you're not going to say something very enlightening, or that you'll be happy about later. So be mindful of that. Okay. What else? Scorpio, you are sexy as a motherfucker and you like it passionate. But here's the thing. You shy away from being open and vulnerable, and you got that little stinger out there ready to kill, and you're all or nothing. Your sex could be fucking cosmic, and that's what you rely on. You rely on blowing fucking people's minds instead of having the conversation that blows their mind, because you're afraid to share your mind. You're afraid to let others in that deep, dark maze that we got going on there, and you feel like you are too much for others, and if you told them, you would lose your poison and you would lose your abilities. No. You actually will be that much sexier and that much more potent when you get real, raw, and vulnerable with yourself and others. That's where the honesty and truth is coming in. Can we handle the truth? Yes. Can you handle your truth? Scorpio, we are onto you. We have been onto you. You're deep, dark, and mysterious. That is for sure. Elusive in your relationships. All or nothing, as I already said, but almost a perfectionist. And this leads to being jealous and manipulative and what's the word? Like super clingy. Like you want to control your partner's every move because you in a way don't trust them because you don't trust yourself. And that is super unhealthy, Scorpio. Okay? Just saying. Anyways, you like it freaky too. You're into taboo. And that's fine. And maybe that's why you have a hard time opening up to people, because of your wild side. You don't want everybody to see that, or you're afraid that they'll use that against you. But here's the thing. If we open the closet and we let our secrets out, people cannot use these things against us. So if you're the one to open the door, you're letting them basically into that world. And it's their choice at that point or not, to come in or not. Okay? So stop holding back. I mean, you could really, really bring it, and you should, because you're here to cleanse and clear cycles from millennia ago, ages and ages and ages and ages ago. And with the Sagittarius movement and retrograde work, it's time to say, it's done. I did it. Woohoo, and move on and enjoy the cosmic enlightenment instead of falling back on the fact that you can blow people's minds. Let someone blow your mind. Let someone expand with you mentally, physically, and emotionally, and your mind's wow. Okay, that's a real orgasm right there. Okay, that takes us to Sagittarius. You, like Aries, are a bit childish. You just want to have fun, and you are a runner. So if it's heading south and people are jumping ship, you're the first on the little fucking dinghy already going to the next party on the other island. You don't like the drama. You don't like the problems. You live in your own world, and that's fine, because you do bring a pretty amazing world to the relationships that you find yourself in, you know, family, friends, and lovers. But when you get intimate with someone, there has to be equal give and take and certain fairness, balance in order to create harmony. And if you keep running from the work, running from the intimacy, running from that duty to yourself and others when you decide to partner up, you're only running with a bunch of bullshit behind you. You're going to stink after a while, and people are going to smell it, and they're not going to want to step in it. And you're going to wonder why no one likes you or no one wants to hang out with you after a while. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the problem. Did you ever consider that? So when you keep running away from people, you're just running with that same problem, which is you. Hate to tell you. But anyways, you know, your unions could be magical too. With the 9th house here, you're all about those beautiful endings and blessed new beginnings, but you've got to create those endings mentally, those beliefs that you have that hold you back, those ideologies and thoughts and philosophies you subscribe to are keeping you from some people, places, and things, and keeping you from the work, I want to say, okay? So it's a bit childish for you to think that you're immune to the work when you're probably the one bringing the problems to the relationship because you haven't matured in some ways. This fire is also going to be affecting you because fire signs affect fire signs, so on and so forth. So it's time for you to act and stop perhaps, like, you know, burning bridges, because here's the other thing. People are going to get tired of dealing with you, and they're going to create the boundary between you and them. And you're going to wonder why they don't let you in, because you don't play nice, okay? You do speak up and out, though, and we love that about you. You say what others are thinking, but you have to handle the repercussions of that as well. And you need to stop being so childish when people are being serious and be willing to have those deeper conversations, okay? That takes us to Capricorn. Capricorn is a great lover, cool, calm, and collected. They are a bit calculated, though, when it comes to their love. Like, it's almost on schedule, I want to say. Like, they need love and sex and intimacy at certain times of the day per their schedule. So this has to be with a yielding partner in a way. That Capricorns want someone that'll sort of yield to them. There we find the defined roles again. But in addition to that, Capricorn in their other partnerships with family and friends, their bossy boots, their tendency to micromanage is unhealthy, and they need to create boundaries and focus on themselves, worry about themselves. They think that they, in a way, are immune to some of the work. Well, they're in the 10th house. It's purpose, power, path, and career. They're career driven. They're working on the work versus the work and union. So they think that, oh no, I'm doing the work. Well, there's all kinds of work to do: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, in our relationships with people, places, and things, health, wealth, and abundance. There are so many sectors that we're clocking into. You can't expect someone else to follow your schedule that way. Now, you do manage families well. So you're great mothers and fathers that want to manage. Well, I would say fathers have a tendency to step away from that and manage their work a bit more and provide, whereas women, Capricorn, would want to provide the schedule, the routine, and the structure, okay? Well, you'll be able to catch the replay, baby girl, okay? So with a healthy appetite for sex, though, they might hide their strong libido, the females, because it is you know, the patriarchy has something against women fucking getting off. I don't even know what's wrong with that, and that's bullshit. Okay, well, we do know what's wrong with that. There's a disconnect between both sexes desiring sex. Some signs desiring it more than others. So, you know, don't even get me started on that, okay? Because we could just talk about sex forever with the signs. My God. But it's not just about sex. It's about relationships with people, places, and things. Okay, baby? Now, so for women Capricorns, their appetite for sex, like I have a good friend that's a Capricorn. She wants some motherfucking dick. And she also has kids and a family, and it's hard for her to find a partner that realizes, like, I am this sexual, but I am also this matriarch and head of this family here. So there is no separation of that. If you want this sex, you got to also have this package over here. And she's actually, you know, probably runs into challenges with that because that's not in society appropriate, and fuck that noise. Okay, so Capricorns, back to you. Traditional, as I said, but they're committed. They're not bouncing around. They're committed to their work. They're committed to their family. They're committed to their partners. They're committed sort of people. Okay, they need stability, security, and structure. They're hardworking, dependable. And as I said, sex is scheduled. It's routine. It's like waking up and brushing their teeth. They need it at certain times, weekly, however often, and their partners are aware of that, I would say. Okay? They're just really an ideal partner, I want to say. Capricorns really are. I just love them too. Them and Taurus. They're just some of my favorite signs. Absolutely. Okay, so that takes us to Aquarius. You are the go your own way kind of lover. Like, think about Fleetwood Mac and all the love and things going on there. Free and liberated and detached, and sex isn't necessarily the intimacy. It's the conversation and where the energy can go, the galactic ability there. So they would almost be into the weird sex, the Aquarius would, okay? They're down for anything exciting and new, but they're flip-flopping, and they're hard to please. Sex is fun, so they're into the fun, not the intimacy of it, okay? Taurus I did first. I go in order. So Taurus was in the first 10 minutes, I want to say, okay? And this will all be saved to YouTube, and you can just go through. But I go through all the signs in order that way. You don't really need sex either. Like, people can blow your mind in other ways. You can have orgasms in multiple ways, in multiple dimensions and realities and cosmic. You're just kind of like an alien, like I always say, Aquarius. You would be into phone or sexting or just toys even, okay? But you are sort of that fantasy lover. So you're into maybe the weird sex crazes even, okay? You like room in your relationships, though, to do your own thing and be alone and have your own space, that detachment. Now, I want to say, is this sort of control and calculation on your part, and you're afraid of intimacy, as I was already saying? So you need to check why you create such boundaries, because you're afraid to open up or because you need your space. There are healthy boundaries and there are unhealthy walls that we put up, okay? You like to give to people, though, and you think you can give to them, I want to say, abundance and materialism, when people actually want your heart, mind, body, and soul. So you are detached in a way when it comes to that. But you're going to do your own thing. And if people follow you and if people want to go where you're going, you welcome them. You're happy to have them there. You're looking over your shoulder every now and again at who's following you and who's eyeing you up, even though you're in another world half the time, honestly. And lastly, that takes us to Pisces. You are a manipulator, an emotional victim or not, but you are a spiritual lover that craves all of the intimacy. So, in touch and affection, and you will go sulking and feeling unloved if your partner didn't text you a certain amount of times a day, I love you, or if you didn't wake up and cuddle or go to bed unhappy or mad. It really affects you. You imagine a lot though, and this is creating fairy tale like scenarios that just aren't realistic in your relationships with family, friends, and lovers. So that's unhealthy in a way. But then again, if it does come to be a reality, it's really magical. So I don't want you to deny that either. The ability to create that magic in your relationships. It could be attainable, but don't set unattainable hopes and expectations for family, friends, and lovers, because you live in fairyland, fairy la la land. Okay. So when you first meet someone, you're almost planning a wedding, and you get that committed and that involved that fast because you feel like this is my soulmate. I called this person on because you feel so deeply, and you're such an ancient soul and being, for God's sakes. Okay. But your passive aggressive ways can create huge waves in your relationship. So you need to find a way to speak up and out. Otherwise, you're going to be sinking quick. And you're going to be like, oh, woe is me, when all you really had to do was put up an SOS signal or tell people what's going on in your head, because a lot like Cancer, people aren't mind readers. Maybe if you and Cancer got together, you could just sit there and tell each other telepathically what's going on. But that is not going to happen in most of your unions, okay? So you need to be willing to speak up and out. Otherwise, you're going to come across pretty detached in your unions, and people aren't going to think you're emotionally available when you're the most emotionally wanting to connect. But you're shy and afraid and coy and almost like childish in a way, okay? And you use your emotions to get what you want, which is unhealthy and toxic, okay? You respond well, though, to your partner's love language, and you read them well. So as far as being a lover, you're one of the best, but you're also one of the most, like, draining if you don't have your shit together. So how about you get your shit together first and then go find love? Stop seeking love, a lot like Cancer, in other people. If you could give that love to yourself instead of other people, places, and things, wow, you probably wouldn't even go looking for love in all the wrong places, okay? So stop doing that. You're though a really erotic, sensual, touchy-feely lover. So you also need someone that's down to being like petted in a way, which I am not. And Mo, it's taken 3 years for him to realize I don't like it. He, though, I realized, wants to be touched. And I was like, oh, bingo. I could get him to stop touching me if I just pet him a little bit more. And I do miss my dog, so I just pet his little fluffy head. That's another thing. Some of the signs could have better relationships with animals, plants, people, places, things. You know, so it's not always about channeling our energy into one union, which the patriarchy has set us up to believe is the end all be all, getting married and settling down and having a family. That is not it. It's about family, friends, lovers, connections, you know, with all kinds of people, places, and things. Okay. So anyways, those are the signs. Pisces is also a very spiritual lover. So if you're ready for your spiritual awakening, they are ready for you. They have been crying and whining and waiting for you forever. So go find yourself a Pisces if you want all that waterworks and cleansing and clearing going on, but some good sex too, if you're into that, slipping and sliding. Okay. So who all is still here? And I wonder how long I've been live because, oh, I see, almost an hour. So we'll do some readings. Anybody have a birthday this week or any Aries in his house? Okay, I'm like, it sounds so silly, like talking like that. Who am I? Might be this day. Anybody have a birthday recently? We're going to do some card reading. First, I'll pull for the group, and we'll see what's in the cards for the new moon. New moons are all about setting intentions, planting seeds of intention, you know, getting pregnant with your hopes and dreams, wants and needs, and manifesting them 3, 6, 9 hours, days, weeks, months, years down the line. You can get some pen and paper out today, tomorrow, the next day, and really start setting some goals in your relationships with people, places, and things, where you want to take action at home, at work, and when it comes to your hopes and dreams. All of these things would be great to start journaling. and illuminating as the moon gets full. Okay? Oh, thanks, Derry. So I'll do Luna Moth and Eva, and then we'll pick a few more people a different way. And I'll probably pop back on for at least another half hour if this shuts me off, because I'm pretty sure it's going to. I'm just shuffling the decks real quick. We're working with the Soul Coaching deck, Journey of the Soul deck, my deck, and what is it called? The Chakra deck. So if you allow me to read for you, you understand that showing up live here, you've given me permission to do that. We work with your ancestors, angels, and guides and your energy field. The messages may or may not resonate with you right now. I hope they do. However, they may resonate with somebody else in here. So listen up and make sure you're paying attention, because this message might be for you. I'm going to be doing Luna first, then Eva, and then I'll get into a few more as we go along. First, I'm pulling for the group. Everybody here, this is a message for you. My dog is an Aries too. I love it that we know our pets. I'm not so weird feeling, but I'm loving this reading, especially with this Aries moon, because it is all about that passion. Look at the colors here. You know, we see that orange, we see that sacral and solar plexus going on. So it's all about you finding the fire from within. But where does it start? The roots with your ancestors, angels, and guides. They are the wood to the fire. So they are already within you, that wisdom and magic and sustenance. It is kindling for your fire. That's why we call ourselves kin, you know. Well, that's what I mean. I'm just making these associations and connections right now, but let them be the kindling for your fire, and let them help illuminate your darkest hours. Because when the moon is in its new moon phase, we have to surrender. We have to find a way to map out our life again, to plant those seeds of intention again, because things either came to fruition or not with the full moon previously. So it's a chance to do that again and revisit that again. Okay, so with passion, you need to persevere, not just for yourself, but for your ancestors, angels, and guides. This purple here is all about third eye and crown chakra activity. So you need to persevere for the collective. You need to get out of your head and into your heart. See the green in the center? If these things aren't connected and aligned, you are going to miss the mark again and again and again. But you can always try again and again and again. So with passion, persevere. Silence that overactive mind. We've been talking a lot about the swords lately. You are creating these thoughts, ideas, and beliefs, and you can let them go one at a time. Saturn is coming up. Capricorn is in Saturn, and you need to manage yourself. Heart, mind, body, and soul. As I said earlier in the readings, all the areas of your life. It's not just with your partner. It's at work. It's at home. It's in all of your unions, with your kids, with your friends, with everybody, the crossing guard, the Uber driver. How are your relationships with these people, places, and things? What action are you bringing to the table? Okay. So that is for the group. Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Silence the noise, silence the naysayers, silence that inner critic that tells you you can't, because Aries ain't having it either. That's for sure. Okay, that was for the group. Now we're going to do Luna and her dog. Oh, Luna, Luna, Luna. Okay, this is good. See this breakthrough? It's upside down. You could be experiencing some breakdowns that will lead to eventual breakthroughs. It is necessary. We have to break things down to build them back up again. It's almost like the tower, okay, in the tarot. So I soar into limitless love, light, and joy by breaking things down and building them back up again. This is speaking to the first card, to persevere, to stick it out. Remember, Spirit is not in the business of setbacks. It is in the business of setups. So you're being set up for something greater. You just have to rebuild it and redo it and renew it. When we experience all these retrogrades this summer, holy hell, it's going to be like summer school. We're going to be revisiting many areas of our lives so that we can rebuild our lives the way we want, the way we see fit, outside of societal structures and beliefs and expectations. We will be doing it for ourselves, okay? You could also be experiencing some breakdowns with your friendships, but that's going to lead to breakthroughs with your friendships, where you create more intimate unions, or where you leave certain people, places, and things behind and create new relationships with people, places, and things. We're so afraid of the breakdown because we're afraid of what's next. It only gets better. You don't go walking into bullshit. You walk away from it more aware, conscious, and ready for what's next, okay? So you could be experiencing some breakthroughs or not with your friendships, but remember, it'll birth better unions no matter what. You have to create the balance and harmony, though. This Libra is coming up, and I don't know if I don't have my notes on the signs where they are at. Oh, I know where they might be. Bingo. So Libra is not really hanging out anywhere. So you're pretty going unscathed here. This is just telling you personal balance and harmony. You need to create that on your own, okay? If it was in the sky somewhere, I would say you need to work with this planet, da-da-da-da-da. And perfection is coming in upside down. The breakdowns look ugly. They look brutal. There's nothing perfect about them, but you have to know that things are going to fall perfectly into place for you, okay? So trust the breakdown. Oh, Libra sun, I'm loving it. Okay, so there's no perfect way though to make it happen. Like when they have those demolitions and they like try to perfectly make it fall down, that's not an oxymoron. I mean, there is no perfect way to break it down, but there will be a perfect way to build it back up, a perfect way for you, a divine way for you. But what's perfect for you might not be perfect for me. So there is no such thing as perfection. So stop getting hung up on perfection. Otherwise, you're going to miss a lot of breakthroughs. And then we were going to do a reading for Eva, and now I'll get another batch of you after that. Eva, I'm liking what I'm seeing. You could be letting go of some grief, which is necessary. If we hold on to that grief like Pisces season is over, we continuously remain the victim. You have to realize that you chose that role in a way. No one has damned you into grieving this long. Grieving is a process. We don't stay in the stage of grief the whole time. There's usually sadness and anger and confusion and what's the next? Like you don't believe, disbelief, whatever the case may be. But you're finding a way to let go of your grief and to hold on to other people, places, and things, which is good. The number 11 is coming up, and it's telling us that you're realizing the mark that you're leaving on other people, the energy that you're feeling, holding on to this sadness, holding on to this grief. It's keeping you from leaving a healthy mark on people, places, and things. When people are always sad, other people don't want to be around them. People don't like that energy. So the number 11 is all about your frequency and how you rub off on other people, but it's also about your legacy and your mark and the life you're leading now and the mark you're going to leave on other people, okay? So creating some changes is coming up for you. As you let go of grief, you're going to experience some changes mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You're going to be ready for something new in your life. So if you let go of the grief centered around the loss of a person, place, or thing, you can now accept this new person, place, or thing. And you have to be willing to go through those changes mentally, physically, and emotionally. But when you hold on to grief, you're holding yourself back from abundance. It's like your hands are full. You can't hold on to both, really, honestly. You can't, I mean, there is duality and there is contrast. We go in this state of grief to realize what we had, okay? So you understand the loss and you're going to love whatever you get next just as much, just as equally, but you have to be okay with the loss, the letting go, the give and take, whatever the case may be. But your grief could be keeping you from people, places, and things, from health, wealth, and abundance, okay? And this sort of grief is heavy on the body. It's heavy on the heart, mind, body, and soul. So it creates toxicity in the body. I mean, it's true. It's proven. It's a density that happens to the cells and the organs and the tissues of the body, okay? So nothing can stay the same if you want to grow and evolve. So you have to stop grieving and start going on with your life, which is what Aries is all about. Basically like that Cher song, you know, there is life after love. I don't know what's going on there. People are clapping. So we're clapping for you, okay? Almost an hour, Josh, because it's going to cut me off. So I want to see now who's going to be next. So I'm thinking of a number 1 through 20. The first people to type it win. and they will be on the next live where we start doing more readings. And this will be saved for 24 hours, the first 10 minutes on Instagram, and the rest on YouTube. So go ahead and make sure you're watching the replay over there on YouTube. So 1 through 20, the first person to, the first people to give me the number. I don't think anybody did it yet. Nope, nobody did it. Okay, it's going to cut me off. Derry got it, 13. Derry, meet me on the next live. We'll see you there, okay? And Tulip, Derry and Tulip.